are they? Because it's often said that if you want to get a good deal on tech, then you shouldn't buy in Britain and you should buy abroad.
This sounded like it was worth investigating, so we decided to send one of our team, either Pollyanna or John, on an excursion into the European sun on a shopping trip.
And of course it turns out that I wasn't going anywhere.
Whereas I was going to have a lovely drive. First, to get our challenge. A fact, this must be our cheapest challenge yet. What does it say?
Polly and John, we know you're always on the lookout for a bargain, which we are, but which is cheaper when it comes to buying gadgets, home or away?
Your challenge is to buy all 9 items on our list as cheaply as you can. Polly, you must stay in the UK. John, you must buy all yours elsewhere in Europe.
Also, it looks like you're going away. Nice.
Great. On the list was a games console with games, a CD, a couple of cameras, a laptop, an iPod, a 3D TV, and the latest Nokia handset.
A 3D TV 42-inch or larger. Now, I think we're going to struggle to find that on the cheap.
I don't think so. Let's face facts. We've got something of a reputation for being rather expensive in the UK, and with that in mind, I was swiftly on my way to Dover with the aim of picking up some bargains abroad. But I knew it wouldn't all be plain sailing. Now, my first hurdle in this challenge is the exchange rate. Fluctuating currencies can work either for you or against you. 4 years ago, buying stuff in France was a great idea. Back then, for every £100, I could get 150, that's 150 euros or thereabouts. Now, I'm getting just 113, so I'm going to have to look harder to find good deals.
I, on the other hand, had found 2 tools to use to my advantage, the exchange rate and the internet. I reckon the easiest thing on the list was the Adele album, and I spotted a great service for finding the lowest price. Compare Download is a price comparison site like your Price Runners and your Calcus. The only difference is it doesn't just compare prices of physical products, it also compares the prices of digital downloads. You have to be kidding me. It's only £5.99. I actually bought this as a digital download. I think I paid £7.99 at least.
I was searching French download sites in the hope of picking up a bargain. Here's a bit of an insurmountable problem, though. Apple's French iTunes website won't accept a British credit card. There are sites that will accept my British card, providing I'm not using a British IP address. But here's one, musicishere.com, that will accept my British card anywhere. Trouble is, Adele is actually more expensive, well, that album is anyway, than buying it at home. I'm beginning to wish I'd stayed at home.
John had fallen at the first hurdle, and even better, I'd had another sneaky plan for internet shopping. Right, I might be stuck here in the UK, but nobody said that I can't buy tech from elsewhere and import it. And everybody knows America compared to here is a lot cheaper when it comes to tech. So I'm looking for the Dell Inspiron Duo, and on the website it says that it's £429. However, if I go over to the Dell American site, it comes up at $549, and that's only £337, which is a massive saving. Sadly, my elation didn't last long as I looked a bit deeper. They don't ship internationally. But I could get round this using the website Bundlebox. You simply shop online at any USA website, using your Bundlebox's address as your delivery address, then Bundlebox forwards your package onto you. But there was one slight hitch. Goods imported from outside the EU have our VAT rate, which is normally 20%, added to the price. Which means it comes in at £456.33. Well, to be quite honest, it's only £429 if I buy it in the UK, so I might as well just get it here.
While Pollyanna was trying and failing to cut corners, I was sticking firmly to the rulebook and was heading for continental soil. Now, I've been to France a fair few times, and I've always found it fairly easy on the wallet, particularly when picking up good value wines and those lovely big hypermarkets. But these hypermarkets don't just sell groceries, they sell everything, and they sell it cheap. I quickly wheeled myself to the nearest electronics aisle and started bargain hunting. Flip Amino HD3, €169. It's about the same price as at home. Don't think I'll bother with that. Here's the 3DS, €249. I'm sure that sounds pretty close to me. Let's have a look. £220 and 35p. Well, I suppose it is a saving, just under £10. Well, I'll take one anyway and get some games. It seemed my expectations of cheap technology abroad were somewhat dated. Most of this kit was more expensive than at home.
iPods. Let's think. Ooh, that was in demand. There's only a couple left. €59. Gosh, I mean, that's about 10, 12, 13 quid more expensive than back at home.
Back in Blighty, I'd had a monstrously cunning idea.
Yes, this is the airport, but I'm not actually leaving the UK. You see, this right here is my ticket to Newcastle upon Tyne, and believe it or not, that actually means that I can get reduced prices on shopping here at the Terminal 5 Departure Lounge. Winner!
These departure lounge shops have airline prices, reduced prices up to 15% off the high street, even if you're flying within the UK.
So you can get the 3DS console, an accessory kit, and 2 of the above games for £224.99. I could save myself just under £38 with that bundle. I think I'll have that, thank you.
I soon snapped up not only a 3DS and games, but a camcorder and a phone, saving a total of £172.77 off the recommended retail price.
Meanwhile, I'd found a bargain by chance.
Aha! LG 42-inch 3D TV, €899. That's definitely cheaper than I've seen it in the UK. Bonjour.
Even if actually buying it tested my rusty French somewhat.
LG.
LG?
Oui. Bon,
Vous sortez avec ou vous restez là?
Nous sortons avec et merci. C'est bon.
Vous venez avec moi?
Merci. Au revoir.
But as Polly headed for departures with a bag full of bargains, I left the hypermarket with only a telly, an expensive 3DS, and a couple of bottles of cheap plonk to my name. If I wanted to claw back a lead, I'd have to rethink my game plan. While Polly had bagged 6 bargains already, I'd only managed to cross 4 gadgets off my list, and at a much heftier price than I'd hoped. I needed to up my game, and that meant abandoning the hypermarkets of Calais for more fruitful ground.
So far, the continent's been a bit of a letdown, frankly. It's very hard to find any savings in the French hypermarket. The European downloading business is a bit of a swizz, and all the time I'm battling against the strength of the euro versus the pound. Of course, there could be a solution to the last problem. Drive somewhere that doesn't use the euro.
The nearest non-euro border, however, was nearly 500 miles away, in Switzerland, a country better known for banks than bargains.
Now, I know Switzerland doesn't exactly have a reputation as a bargain basement country, but in spite of that, I think there are grounds for optimism. After all, the Swiss make a lot of gadgets. Rolex, Victorinox, the people who make the army knives, Logitech, they're all based there, so hopefully prices will accordingly be lower. And I'm hoping my pounds will go a bit further against the Swiss franc.
While John was taking the scenic route to a destination of uncertain economy, I was also on the move. Having exhausted the shops of Terminal 5, I had a plane to catch to the north.
Newcastle, great for shopping. Now, I didn't randomly just pick this place out of a hat. There is a reason for it. You see, living in London is notoriously high-priced, so I kind of thought, if I come up north, surely it'll be a little bit better, right?
Some studies show London as 9% more pricey than the rest of the UK. Sadly, being a southerner myself, I had no idea where to start looking for bargains up north. Time to crack out the apps.
I've got an app on here called Fast Mall. So what that does is it uses GPS to locate where I am and then tells me where my nearest mall is. So let's give it a go, because I've still got a bit more shopping to do. There is one called Eldon Square, less than a mile away.
Once in the shopping centre, Fast Mall also provides you with a shop directory and directions to your chosen store.
This is fantastic. The amount of times I've been lost in shopping malls and not been able to find my way. This is like your own shopping mall sat-nav. This will be my new best friend.
For my part, I'd finally reached the borders of Switzerland, a mecca for cuckoo clocks, cheese with holes in it, and hopefully cut-price tech. I headed over the border and into Zurich, and soon found a large electronics emporium. My luck was about to change.
What a wonderful shop. It's a sort of very advanced form of catalogue shopping. Great. Ah, an S95. I want one of those. And 399 Swiss francs. Well, it's under £270, and that is brilliant. That's a lot cheaper than I can get that in Britain, I think. So I'll have one of those.
Digitech had some unbelievable bargains. As well as my camera, I soon found a very cheap flip minnow and a large array of phones.
Ah, look. The E7, that's the sort of like the N8, but it's got the slide-out keyboard. And it's available here. I can buy it now. Whereas I can't actually buy it in Britain yet, so I'm definitely having that too.
Finally, I'd found what I was looking for, a small part of Europe that was a haven for gadget lovers, and I couldn't help having a quick gloat.
Well, I couldn't just give you a call, because things are going really well here in Switzerland. In fact, I think you're taking a family holiday here this year. Brilliant.
But you do realise you do have to pay import VAT on some stuff. I think it's about anything over £390, if I'm right. Which means you actually won't be buying that much stuff in Switzerland.
Oh.
Yep, see ya. Good luck.
OK, bye then.
Infuriatingly, she was right. I'd completely overlooked the customs charges for bringing goods into the UK from outside of the EU, meaning I could only buy one gadget or risk a hefty additional charge. But then I had a brainwave.
Got this VAT limit. We can't actually take much back, you see. So I was wondering if you would kindly buy the phone. Then we've got 2 limits, yes? Got a reasonable amount of money on your credit card? Yes, right, it's good.
Your tax-free allowance is allotted per person rather than per carload, so I could rope in the crew to use their personal allowances.
He's happy, I'm happy. Excellent.
And I discovered I could claim back Swiss VAT.
7.6%, and I can get that back. Yes. With this form. Excellent.
An extra saving of 8%.
Brilliant. Gets better, doesn't it?
So, even though I couldn't buy all my gadgets in Switzerland, I'd made a saving of over £300.
An excellent result.
Back in Newcastle, however, my luck was running out.
Whatever price I'm seeing up here is pretty much the same price as I see down in London, which is a little bit of a pain. I thought it might be less.
In fact, bigger cities like London have more competing tech stores, which pushes the prices down. I was going to have to look very hard to find a bargain, but I had a helping hand. Shop Savvy, a barcode scanner and price comparison app, which not only looks up low online prices, but also searches for low prices in local shops.
There you are. Look at that. 2 whole pounds off the RRP. But it's still a saving.
I'd used up my tax-free allowance in Switzerland, so I'd no option but to return to France and look for more deals.
As time ticked away, I frantically searched for any last-minute bargains in the sales. Would it be enough to win me the challenge?
We raced back to the gadget studios to tot up the totals.
Cool.
Very good, but of course the question is, who spent the least amount of money on tech? Well, to reveal all, our very own king of shopping, Mr. Otis Healy.
Yes, it must be said that I am partial to a bit of gadget-related retail therapy, so I'm really keen to see how this has worked out.
OK.
The results are as thus. Let's see who paid the least. Up first, Pollyanna and John had to buy a Nintendo 3DS with 3 games. John paid £337.21, not bad, but Polly got the lot for just £259.16, beating John by 78 quid. Next, they both had to buy Adele's 21 album, and John paid out £8.86, while Polly downloaded it for £2.87 cheaper. Then comes the Canon PowerShot S95, which Polly got for £345.96 in the UK, but John paid £247.48, beating Polly by nearly 100 quid. Skills. And John, you found a similar bargain with your Flip, buying it for £117.71, £25 less than Polly. On to laptops, and Polly got the Dell Inspiron Duo for £35 cheaper than John did in France. Zut alors! Polly also spent 15 quid less than John on an iPod Shuffle. Now for the biggie. John paid £789 for his 42-inch 3D TV, and Polly, you paid £140 less for a 50-inch model. Finally, the latest Nokia phone. John got a newer model, but for £29 more than Polly spent on her N8. Unlucky, John.
Right, so for the winner of this challenge, the person who spent least amount of money on their tech, John, after claiming back all of your VAT and getting a rather good exchange rate, your tech came to a grand total of £2,370.51.
Good effort, Jonathan.
Obviously, that means nothing until you hear what Pollyanna spent. So, Polly, by staying in the UK, just about, your combined tech came to £2,194 and 12 pence.
Polly!
It's the winner of this week's...
Won!
I've just won my